Carl Sagan once said, "The illegality of cannabis is outrageous, an impediment to full utilization of a drug that helps produce the serenity and insight, sensitivity and fellowship so desperately needed in this increasingly mad and dangerous world." Hello everybody and welcome to Lights, Camera, History. For this video, we thought we would do a relatively unknown incident that became a relatively unknown movie and was released in 1977. This is the story of the Polk County pot plane. The ordeal inspired a movie called Hot Pursuit. If you like this, please hit the subscribe button or comment down below. We'll be uploading videos on movies and review their historical accuracy. So, if you like that kind of thing, keep an eye out. We appreciate the support. Let's rock and roll. The Polk County pot plane incident is something of a local legend in the Georgia County. The key players that would undergo this little scheme are Marty Raulins, the leader, and his friends Bobby Knight, Derry Ferris, and Randy Casey. Others would eventually join a growing group of smugglers. One of them was named Mike Rudiger, also known as State's Witness Number 1. All of them may have had their own reasons for joining, but nevertheless, here they are, able and willing to smuggle pot by any means necessary. According to Raulins, it wasn't that he wanted to get rich, although it would have been nice. He and his friends were all staunchly anti-prohibition of pot. Raulins said it was unnecessary and arbitrary. Raulins did a little networking and dealing to find a supplier in Colombia. The first time they bought pot from Colombia, they would use a sailboat. It was just too tiring and risky because of the U.S. Coast Guard, so the crew decided to fly the product in instead. Introducing Bob Eby, the kind of pilot that could fly anything and everything, working or not. Eby went to Arizona and purchased a DC-4 plane at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, better known as the Boneyard. Eby knew he'd be able to take off from Fort Lauderdale, but returning would be just too risky. Instead, Raulins and our world's 4 greatest smugglers would purchase a parcel of land in Polk County, Georgia. Problem is, it was all trees. Funny enough, it's pretty noticeable when you clear out several acres of trees with 2 D8 caterpillars. People begin to notice and ask questions. The group got a power generator and cheap lights to line a runway when Eby was getting close. So the plan was set. They went to Colombia, purchased the pot from a grower named Alberto, a guy that nobody really knew his last name. Alberto was more than happy to do business. His guys loaded the plane, everybody was happy. It was time to smuggle some pot. Unfortunately, landing a DC-4 plane in rural Georgia is a terrible idea. The DC-4 plane is a loud 52-seat airliner built by the Douglas Aircraft Company. The kind of plane you could... Can you turn it down? It's pretty loud. Thank you. The kind of plane you could do anything with except land in quietly. The cops were notified by local residents and in hot pursuit. Many in the group would either get in their trucks they rented or hide in the trees. 3 of the men hired, including Mike Rudiger, actually stayed in one of the trucks overnight that was filled with pot until the cops could open it with a warrant. Mike would be the first to flip and cut a deal. Without fail, all that were involved were arrested either on the landing strip or pulled over by the cops. The cops thought they caught a group related to organized crime. As Raulins would later say, nothing about this was organized. After several years of investigations, federal indictments, and bad publicity for the DOJ, the case against all the unquote smugglers was dismissed. Oh, and Mike Rudiger was never heard from again. None of the players were really able to find him in later years. We did search here and there and found no records indicating he exists. Local politician and businessman Jim West purchased the DC-4 plane at auction and also financed the movie that would be called, in hot pursuit, Polk County Pot Plane. The movie was written and directed by Jim West and stars Don and Bobby Watson as Osh and Dosh, respectively. When Osh and Dosh got busted after the noisy chase scene that opens the picture, the criminals became pawns in a power struggle involving mobsters and other criminals. The plot is just an excuse for this. It's something of a drive-in movie and did not have a nationwide release. The film is something kind of unique in itself. It's so bad it's funny. Not a single professional filmmaker was involved in the movie. The dialogue is bad, the action and plot make no sense, and the stunts are, well, they might have been high when they filmed it. Yet, somehow the movie's pretty funny and likable. The sad thing is, it doesn't stick to the fact. We discussed some of them earlier, but you have to love it. But for a grade, the movie gets an F. F for fun. It would have been nice if they stuck to the actual events. The truth is a lot more entertaining. The end. Well, folks, thanks for watching, and we hope you had a great time. We'll leave you with this. Carl Sagan once said, "Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. Onto it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives." History has not recorded if Carl was high when he said this.